can just announce it.
Great. Well, today's March. It's not March 4th. It's May 4th. No, it's May 5th, 2015.
Hey, Peggy.
Hello.
Hi, Peggy.
Hello.
You're just in time. We're just starting.
We were just struggling to announce what day it was.
We were just taking a trip back in time.
It's not March 4th. It's May 5th, 2015. And this is our first May Health Games conversation. So welcome to it.
And welcome, dog.
And the dog wants to be.
Hi, Kian.
Wow.
Oh, that's funny.
He loves me.
Yes, he does. I forgot his name. What's his name?
Kian.
Ken. Oh.
Kian. It's
Kian.
C-I-A-N.
Oh,
It's-
C-I-A-N. Kian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kian.
It's Welsh, isn't it?
It's Irish.
Irish, okay.
Okay.
He's a Welsh dog with an Irish name and an English last name.
I was going to say, he doesn't look like an Irish setter to me.
No.
That's
Yes, I know.
Cute.
Well,
How are the games going?
yes,
everyone?
how is it this time? We're 5 days in. Or so.
Have we started?
Yeah, that's my eyes. Have we started already? Oh,
You don't have many days off, do you? The way that it is anymore. Which is a good thing.
Oh, good. We've got Robin coming. This is good. Hey,
There
Robin.
she is.
Welcome to the party, Robin. This is fun. Is your sound working for you, Robin? Can you hear us? Oh, wait. Sometimes it takes a
hello.
Lost in space.
It's true. So welcome, welcome. This is fun. So it's our first week of the new games. So
Yes.
We should go around the room and introduce everyone. Robin may not know us. The rest of us.
I think Robin knows everybody on this call.
Okay.
She's met us the last challenge, yeah.
that's right.
I remember
She's-
her on the wall. I'm not sure that I've seen her in living color like this.
Yeah, she's up in Montana. She used to join us. She was always in the lower left-hand corner
That's right.
Okay.
of my screen. Sorry.
Wherever. This is great.
Wow.
There you are. We can hear your voice now.
All right. Now we know she's real.
Yeah. So what do you
Yeah, I
want?
just had to put on. What?
I said you had to put on your sound. Is that what you did?
Oh, yeah. It said to put on the internet sound or something.
Oh, okay.
It gave me two choices, like a dial-in or internet.
Oh. Okay.
Well, let's go around the room just for fun, especially for those people who might listen later on. Then they'll know who we are, and we'll remember who we are. I'm David Beal, married to Claudia Beal, and we live in Layton, Utah. And why are we in the games?
Why are we? I'm in the game so I can get this thing down and stay healthy or become even healthier.
Great reminder for the habits of health that make health lasting. So, how about let's take turns then and say who you are and where you're from, and if you have a special reason for being in the games, then that's great. Or if you have expectations of things that you'd like to learn, tell us about that.
Okay. It's Larry, I know it.
I've joined again because if I don't join, I don't progress. I have not yet developed the self-discipline to stay with the program without the external accountability and the support of the team.
Yeah.
So I have enjoyed the last two. I've made my weight the last two times, and so as long as why why change something that's working? So
Mhm.
That's great.
I noticed. I was going to say, David, you can't feel too bad about mixing up dates and things on the announcement from the April challenge. The challenge group said, "Hey, you qualified to be a winner," and went through all that stuff, and then says, "And if you haven't joined the April games yet, here's a link." Like,
I couldn't help but notice that.
the top of it said the winners of the April games. So who's driving that bus?
Yeah.
Must have been somebody related to who I am. That's what I do.
Proofreader was asleep, I guess.
I didn't even notice that, Larry.
I didn't notice it either. Where are the listings of the winners?
Well, it'll be on the page, I think. But if anybody who qualified, they sent an email to, I think.
$24 and something.
Yep. I
Yeah.
got my $24.
There you go.
But I did notice some dialogue on one of the walls yesterday on Facebook that not everyone had gotten that email yet. So,
I just saw mine today, but then
yeah,
it's the first time I've opened email for a few days.
Yeah.
they recommended people check their spam and so forth. But I saw mine just fine.
I don't think I'm going to
Okay.
be one this time, to be honest.
By the way,
How
Robin,
do
I spent last night on Tyson and Anna's floor,
Oh,
sleeping
their
before I drove
floors?
home.
Oh, yeah. Oh, good. How are they doing?
Doing well.
Good.
Larry, you could have come here. We would have given you a bed.
Well, I'll think about that next time.
But no relatives. We
That's
don't.
right. No cute Anna. No nice Tyson.
So, Robin, where do you live, and why are you joining our games? Do you have any special expectations this time?
Well, I live in Montana, and I'm joining because I still have a ways to go. So at least 10 pounds is what I want to lose. So,
Excellent.
and I on the last challenge, so I'm hoping to on this one. But I really feel like those MetaFast meals helped me a lot. So I
Good.
need to hit Anna up again and get some more.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're magic, aren't they?
they really are.
Although we shouldn't say that officially.
No, it's one way to do it.
Absolutely.
So, anyway.
And Peggy,
Well, it's a good day when you're busy and they're all together
Right.
for you.
grab and
Like-
go.
Yeah.
How Becky and Kian, what are your
Not Becky, not Becky.
Peggy? I said it right the first time.
Yeah, Kian. Right now, I'm living in San Antonio, Texas for the next 3 weeks. Then I'm moving to Tucson, Arizona. So for the next challenge, I'll be in Tucson.
Awesome.
Wow, great.
Yes. I'm on the challenge because I still, like Larry, I still need I don't have the discipline to do it myself yet. And I need the support and the camaraderie of doing this with a group. So I just wish I had like an exercise partner here. Maybe I'll have one in Tucson. I'll make Bronwyn work out with me.
Yeah, there you go.
That's good. Well, that's great. Yeah. So you want to do that part?
Sure. As we were thinking about what else to do on this first call, we thought it would be well to talk about a few vocabulary words that you'll be hearing as we enter into the games. You've seen some of these already in other challenges and already in the first 5 days of the games. For instance, quiet time is a word that we use around here. Or also we sometimes call it meditation, and that's an opportunity to get quiet with yourself each day, because we know that that's an important way to stay connected with our habits. And it really works.
Helps us to not be stressed out.
Because managing our stress is very often an important thing to do to gain control of our health and our weight especially. Dr. A, who can tell me who Dr. A is? Does he have a real name?
He's the meltdown wizard.
That's
He
that's
is.
right.
And his real name is Dr. Wayne Scott Anderson. He writes many of the things that we'll read in our daily lessons. Meal replacements. What are those?
Well, that's like we're saying that it is a way that you can be assisted to get a good kickstart in losing weight if you'd like to. Of course, you can use regular food. You can use Weight Watchers. You can use Jenny Craig. You can use Counting Calories, MyFitnessPal. Just there's a lot of different ways to use it. The program that it is putting on the Meltdown Challenge uses meal replacements for people if they'd like to do that, but you don't have to be part of that. They call it the complete program if you use the meal replacements, but just like Robin was saying, they're very, very convenient, especially if you're very busy, then it kind of helps and it makes weight loss very easy. But just remember that no matter how you lose weight, you always have to do something to keep it off, and that's the whole point of the game. So
Right.
with those habits, it's the habits that count. Food is great. Anyway, the meal replacements are just one of the ways. So is that too long of an explanation?
That's perfect. Peggy is getting her ear examined.
She's getting her
I have the
exercise.
cleanest ears on the planet.
It's so funny.
Kayan's doing it to her. Kind.
Sometimes you hear meal replacements called PCMR. Those for alpha are portion-controlled meal replacements. Okay, sometimes we talk about 5 and 1. The 5 being 5 meal replacements that you would very conveniently have available to you for one day of food. The 1 is a lean and green, which is a lean cut of meat with low glycemic vegetables to go with it. So 5 meal replacements and 1 lean and green, 5 and 1.
Now, can I ask for a clarification there? When it doesn't require animal protein for the lean and green, right?
Right.
You said lean cut of meat, but it can be
Meatless option.
whatever choice of high protein or good quality protein.
Very good point to
Right.
clarify that.
Yeah, like
Okay.
eggs or like cottage cheese or, yeah, protein sources.
We have a chart that shows some other specific brands of meatless options. But yeah, cottage cheese, I really love to do that because sometimes you get a little tired of all animal protein. Good point. And that's the 5 and 1 is based on the concept that it's a healthier way to eat to have 6 small meals in a day. So
And you see that a lot in our program. So
that if you eat something every 2 to 3 hours, then it keeps your insulin levels more level during the course of the day.
Now, something you mentioned on one of our last calls was that you have to keep in mind that those 6 meals aren't 6 regular meals.
Right.
That's
power packed.
that's kind of the way I got the way I am now, is that I was eating plenty of meals, but they were all pretty good sized meals,
Yeah.
and
Not necessarily portion controlled.
you cut up pretty quick. Yep.
It does indeed.
Well, I noticed like the MetaFast meals are like 100 calories.
Right.
Right.
So if I keep my those meals, like if I'm out of a MetaFast or something, to a good 100 calories, like a piece of fruit and something else with it.
Right.
Great. And if you can offset that piece of fruit with some protein, then it's all the more satisfying and
Yeah.
you'll be more content that way.
I like fruit and cottage cheese, but it doesn't take much cottage cheese to go over that 100 calories.
Right.
PQ.
Right.
Right. You kind of have to watch it. It is it's quite a revelation to see how little food you really need when you're eating 6 meals a day and you're balancing them. Then it doesn't require like we used to eat. Yeah.
Yeah, very interesting.
And you guys have probably noticed that on the challenge wall, they've got some different meal plans written out there. They've got exercise videos, and they have a thing called lean and green recipes and 100-calorie fuelings. So it's nice that the challenge wall gives you some options, some helps. So yeah, that is great. So one more thing too is we are having a small contest until Friday. So whoever brings on the most new people onto the challenge earns, is it $25? 15? I don't even remember what I said.
I think you posted $15 for it.
$15, good. I'm hoping to give it away. Larry won the last one. I don't know what it was for, but it was good. So that's fun. Anyway, you guys are great. Anybody have any questions?
I noticed that in the last challenge, a number of people had posted on the wall, and this is just an observation, about how difficult it was when you go to social functions and things like that to try and maintain the proper balance and things like that. And I was, I guess, sympathetic to the plight and all that. And I thought, yeah, that would require some advanced planning, thinking about it, or all you have to do is just set your mind to not indulging.
That's a good point.
And that was easy for me to think because I hadn't been to a lot of social things. I sit here, and do and this last weekend was another revelatory experience where I was not able to maintain.
Yeah.
Near like I thought it would be, possible to do. I overindulged and found that in the social setting, whether it's the peer pressure or just the social, whatever, I found myself just blending in with everybody and eating many of the wrong things. So
you can sure see how you could fall right back into the old habits easily, huh?
yes, yeah, and I thought, oh, I've been doing this for 3 months now. I've got this down. It requires constant vigilance.
Absolutely, well said. I had a similar experience in a social setting that shouldn't have been a problem at all because it was just our family. Everybody in our family, meaning our children, spouses, grandchildren, knows about our healthy habits. And we just had some sweets around, and that's my risk, as I have confessed here on these earlier Zoom calls. And what a silly thing,
Yeah.
especially with that group that knows that I'm careful.
Yeah.
But it's just the habit. That was a bad habit that I just fell into it.
You have these thoughts that come into your mind. Sometimes it's kind of chatter, and your brain is telling you to eat these things, and you may never ever have this again. So your mind's saying you can eat it, it's not going to hurt you just this once or whatever. And then you have the other brain, your logical brain, that is telling you, hey, you know what, I want to lose 10 pounds before June 15th or something, and so I don't want that. And so you have to kind of be aware of the chatter. And something that I learned just today about this chatter is that if you can actually speak the chatter and say, my head is telling me to go ahead and have this, and my head is telling me that it doesn't matter,
Nope.
and it doesn't make a difference. Anyway, what they were saying was that if you can speak the chatter out loud, and especially if you have somebody that you can tell them, this is what my head is saying, and say it to somebody, that just by virtue of saying it, it lessens the power. Anyway, just something for you to be thinking about. But I thought that was interesting. And another thing, not talking about the two brain idea, but that is, just be careful that if you do find yourself in a situation where, for example, David and I took this little road trip and we stayed with our niece.
No.
She's not at all on this program, she and her husband and their 2 little babies. And she made us shepherd's pie for dinner. I mean, who's going to not eat what this sweet little gal prepared for us? We don't have to eat a lot, but you eat it. We woke up the next morning and she made us wonderful pancakes. You know, no protein, whatever, but that doesn't matter. And so we eat it. But it was not an indulgence in the fact that it wasn't like you were like, oh man, this is so good and I'm going to have more. And oh man, I really blew it. But instead, it was so very easy in our minds to go right back to our healthy eating, just because it wasn't one of those things where we were, what do you call it, caving in or
right.
giving in to whatever. But I think that the chatter that could have gone on, I don't know, there wasn't any chatter because it was a different situation. But sometimes when you get that going, it can drive you crazy. And then when you have a experience like us going to Haley's, then it's kind of like you can separate those two, you know, where it's to be polite and you're right back on your program. But if you start caving and then it turns into a lot of indulgence, then you start feeling the guilt and the chatter, and then don't let the guilt. I think what I'm trying to say in all this is don't let the guilt drive you to keep eating.
Yeah.
Just recognize it as, hey, you know what? So I ate too much right there.
Right. And you
move on.
You repent and move on. Yes.
You don't spend a whole lot of time worrying about it. So.
And you know, I want to say one other thing too. I know that we're about out of time, but I had that experience with my children that I talked with you about as far as eating too many cookies. But I have had plenty of other times where I have had my head on right, and I've gone to a social event, even ones where we are serving some things, you know, just because maybe we don't. As far as fixing cookies and so forth for other people, we try to make good choices. But there are a few favorite Aunt Claudia things that.
Well, and Brian just came home from a mission, so
right.
He's wanting all these treats.
But I think it's interesting that if you've got your head on right, you can even be making those things available and not even eat anything off plan. And by saying off plan, I know that
whatever your plan is.
Right. But you know, you can have all sorts of strength and connection with just doing what you want to do.
Like we had a healthy lunch today, but I had made these chocolate chip cookies for Brian, and so I said, okay, I'm going to thaw these. I put them in the freezer, you know, to get them out of sight, out of mind. And then I said, okay, I'm going to thaw these. How many do you want? David says, I am going to resist. Brian said, I want to, and I said, I want one. And so we did, and I felt no guilt at eating one but it's funny because your mind is made up, and so you can do it. So, Gol, we've been talking a lot. Gee.
Was Brian in Japan or Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. Because I thought that he'd gone to the same place you had gone, right?
Right.
Okay. And when did he get home?
Friday.
Yeah.
Really?
Just.
Oh, cool.
Oh, I know. We're having so much fun. Good to have him. You guys, this is so great. Thank you for hopping on. Gee whiz. So, yeah, get your 25 points for your Verbal Coach Connection.
I spent this last weekend with 2 of my coaches, so.
That's right. So, that's good.
Excellent.
So I just wanted to make one quick comment. I'd read before somewhere that it's good to emulate skinny people that you know how they eat.
Right.
And my daughter is very skinny, and I notice I've been watching her a lot, and she'll sometimes just eat a couple bites, or she quits as soon as she's full. She has that, you know, she's 17 and she's very petite and tiny, but you know, I mean, a lot of times kids do that. Or a kid, you eat when you're full, you stop, you go out and play or do whatever, keep busy. But
Is she the
so that's just
dancer?
kind of what?
Is she the dancer?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Isn't that great though? Boy, and so she stops eating and then she dances everything else off. So what a great thing.
She has that ability to stop eating when she's full.
That's a sweet ability. She's not hooked to food. She probably has no chatter whatsoever.
Great habit to have, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing that, Robin. That's great.
Okay.
Peggy, I hope you don't get beat up by that pup.
You should see the bruises I have all over my body.
Well, you guys, thanks for getting on. This is great. Have another great week.
We'll see you next time.
Keep making your great comments.